Cell Structure and Function, Part 6. In the previous lessons, you learned about cell membrane and cytoplasm. Now, let's study about the third major part of a cell, the nucleus. Nucleus is a very important component of the living cell. What is the shape of nucleus? Nucleus is usually spherical in shape and is located somewhat at the center of a cell. More correctly, this organelle is located somewhat at the center of an animal cell. Then what about in plant cells? In plant cells, nucleus is usually found towards one side, and this is due to the presence of large vacuole. In plant cells, when small vacuoles combine to produce large vacuole, nucleus is pushed towards one side. This organelle was first discovered by a Scottish botanist, Robert Brown, in the year 1831. What about the number of nuclei in a cell? How many nuclei are present in a cell? Usually, a cell contains a single nucleus, a condition called uninucleate, or we can say that most of the cells are uninucleate. But some cells contain two or more than two nuclei. Can be referred as binucleate or multinucleate condition. In some cells, nucleus is present at early stages, but later nucleus is lost. Nucleus is absent in some cells like mature RBC of mammals and sieve tubes of plants. RBC contains nucleus at its early stages, but when they mature, nucleus is lost. This is to make RBC more efficient for transporting more oxygen. Are there cells which do not contain nucleus at any stages of their life? Yes, in some cells like bacterial cell, nucleus is not at all present in any stages. But nuclear material is embedded in the cytoplasm. There is not a structure called nucleus. Such cells which lack a well-defined nucleus are called prokaryotic cells. Pro means primitive and karyon refers to nucleus, which is considered as a primitive type of nucleus. So, based on the presence or absence of a well-defined nucleus, cells can be classified into two basic types, prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells are cells which do not have a well-defined nucleus. In prokaryotic cells, the nuclear material is in the cytoplasm and not separated by a nuclear membrane. Cells of bacteria and blue-green algae are prokaryotic. Organisms which possess prokaryotic cells are called prokaryotes. So we can say that bacteria and blue-green algae are prokaryotes. What about in higher organisms? Cells in multicellular organisms have a well-defined nucleus. That is, a separate structure called nucleus which is surrounded by a nuclear membrane. And such cells are called eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells have a well-defined nucleus. Unicellular organisms like amoeba, paramecium, etc. and multicellular organisms including plants and animals contain eukaryotic cells. Organisms which possess eukaryotic cells are called eukaryotes. Most of the organisms are eukaryotes. Now let's study more about the structure of nucleus. Nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a double-layered membrane called nuclear membrane. In eukaryotic cells, a nuclear membrane separates the nucleus from the cytoplasm. Nucleus has a double-layered covering which is called nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane has minute pores. These pores are called nuclear pores. These pores allow the transfer of materials from inside the nucleus to the cytoplasm. The transfer or movement of materials between the nucleus and the cytoplasm takes place through the nuclear pores. Inside the nuclear membrane, there is a transparent liquid called nucleoplasm. Inside the nucleoplasm is a small spherical body called nucleolus. Nucleolus is concerned with protein synthesis. Ribosomes, which are known as the factories for protein synthesis, are formed from nucleolus. Nucleoplasm also contains enzymes for DNA replication, RNAs, etc. In addition to nucleolus, nucleus contains thread-like structures which are known as chromatin fibers. Chromatin fibers are also called chromatin or chromatin network. They appear in the form of thread-like structures. But prior to cell division, they become short and thick or condensed. Then they are chromosomes. Chromosomes are composed of DNA and proteins. Chromosomes are the carriers of hereditary materials. What is meant by heredity? Do you resemble your parents? Many of us resemble our parents. Some of you may be like your mother, and some like father, and some resemble grandparents also in many aspects. The passage of or transfer of characteristics or genetic factors from parents to young ones is called heredity. Do you know the factors which are responsible for this? Yes, these factors are called genes. Chromosomes contain the hereditary materials called genes. Chromosomes are made up of DNA and proteins. DNA is a nucleic acid called deoxyribonucleic acid. Genes are segments of DNA which is responsible for a character, or we can say that genes are functional units of DNA. These factors are responsible for the transfer of characters from parents to young ones. Now, you can state the importance of nucleus in a cell. Nucleus contains the genetic material. Nucleus plays an important role in heredity as they store the hereditary materials or genes. In addition to its role in inheritance, nucleus controls all the activities of a cell. It acts as a control center of cellular activities. Which organ controls and coordinates all activities in our body? You know that it is the brain. As brain controls and coordinates all activities in an organism, nucleus controls and coordinates the activities in a cell. Hence, nucleus can be called as the brain of the cell. The total living content of a cell, which includes the cytoplasm and nucleus, can be called as protoplasm. Protoplasm is the term for the total living content of a cell. Protoplasm includes the cytoplasm and the nucleus. You learned about the components of a cell. Can you distinguish between an animal cell and a plant cell? Observe the diagrams and compare the two cells. What are the major differences you notice between these two cells? The major differences include cell wall is absent in animal cell while cell wall is present in plant cell. Another noticeable difference is plastids are absent in animal cell whereas plastids are present in plant cells. Centrosome is present in animal cell while centrosome is absent in plant cells. In animal cells, nucleus is found at the center, while in plant cell, nucleus can be found towards one side. In animal cells, the vacuoles are small, whereas in plant cells, large vacuole is present. All these are differences between animal cell and plant cell. Now, answer these questions.